how well HR department do their job in the organization. It's about managing people effectively to help the organization succeed. So diversity of workforce refers to the inclusion of individuals from wide range of background within an organization. Now customer satisfaction and loyalty, because the customer gonna see the same employee, so they'll have what? The satisfaction as well as the loyalty towards those organizations. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I'm Vidhyaashram from the Department of Commerce and Management in Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence. Welcome to all the students for the third unit. Now in this unit, we're going to learn more about human resource performance. See, we went with something called planning, then we came across development. Now through development, is there a possibility to achieve the performance in a better way or not? So this human resource performance will actually be a kind of feedback to the human resource development and human resource planning which the human resource manager have done it. So here the introduction, HRP, in the sense human resource performance, if you go with it, is about how well HR department do their job in the organization. It's about managing people effectively to help the organization succeed. So the entire HR department need to see to it that how well they have designed, they have done the framework, they have done the policy, they have laid down the rules and regulation. Is it helping the organization? Is it not helping the organization? Are our employees be working effectively or efficiently? Or is that the results there is a problem? What exactly we are supposed to deal with? Everything the HR department, right? The HR department need to understand. And the next one here we have is HR performance includes hiring the right people or person. See, hiring right people is a very difficult job. Reason, say you have 20 vacancies in your organization. So you will tell that let's hire people. You will get 200 applications. So in that 200, you need to filter it, right? Filter. Now when you start filtering it, you don't know how exactly you will come to an approach. So you will decide on this type, we're going to take an interview. It can be a GD, it can be a personal, it can be any kind of objective or any kind of a thing. The last round is a personal interview. Now there are chances that many people, right, who are efficient, who have the capability, who are the right people, but they would have gone out of the interview in the first or the second round itself. The thing is, at that point of a time, how will they perform? That is what it is. And there are few people who only know how to crack an interview, right? They have cracked the interview, but they are not the right people for the job. There are many incidents which I have seen. I have been to many interviews and I have taken many interviews where I see that the potential candidates, for some 2 or 3 questions they lack and they miss the opportunity to be the smart employee. So that's why interview is a gateway. You are supposed to crack the interview first. If you feel that you are the potential candidate, you are the right candidate, what is that you should do? The interview is there, no? That you are supposed to crack it. So HR performance includes hiring the right people, training them well, managing their performance and making sure they are happy and engaged at work. They are working really good. So what is this benchmark? Always have a benchmark. The standard should be there. You should set a benchmark. So this can be a 2 marks question. You will get a question for this 2 marks. So the answer for benchmark is, benchmarking is a process. It is again a process used by organization to compare their performance, practices and process against industry standards or best practice. See, whenever we go with this benchmark, so we have something called standard. And we have something called actual. Now I'll give you an example. The standard is set by company, the actual is done by the employee. Now I'm taking one example of an employee. Now we have one employee and this person is working. The standard is make 2000 calls per day. Okay, that is what the standard is set by the company. Now actually he is only able to make 600 calls per day. Now understand how this benchmark actually works. So standard is set by whom? By the employees, that is the HR manager or the supervisor, whoever have given the thing. So the company has given 2000 calls you are supposed to do. That means somewhere they have attained this, or somewhere near to it they want people to go, say 1800 calls or 1600 calls, 1400 calls they want. But this person has done only 600 calls. So he really needs training and development. So he'll go for the training and development. He'll come back. Now the actual, he has done 1600 calls. So what happens is he'll be here. He has set a benchmark. Now anybody who gets more than 1600, that person sets a benchmark 1800, or anybody who does. So these are the benchmarks which the employees want. That is, see, earlier he had that ability because of his knowledge, his skills, that I can make 600 calls. Now after training and development, he got more knowledge, more skills, more smart way approach. Now he is able to make 1600. Some or the other day what will happen is they'll definitely make 2600 calls per day. How did he achieve? Again, if you go with division of work, you can definitely achieve the benchmark. Next is impact of globalization HRD. Now globalization we all know, right? The entire world is a single market. Everybody can be accessible at any point of a time. So the first thing is the team diversity will happen. Speaking the global language, see how is that we came to a conclusion that we need to learn English is because of this globalization, right? And I'll tell you something which you will feel that which language, if you have any answers you can comment at, which language is spoken majority in the entire world. If you go with it, many of you gonna say that English is a language which majority of us we speak, and it's not 100% true, but again 60 to 70% it is, there is a truth. But the reality, if you know, the more people who talk, right, it can be educated, it can be illiterate also, they talk Mandarin Chinese. That is the most spoken language. It is 14.2%. How much? 14.2% they speak Mandarin Chinese. The second language, you will be surprised, right? That second language is Spanish. Now Spanish is spoken. Most of the people, they actually talk Spanish more. It can be educated, it can be illiterate, any kind of a thing. But most educated people, if you go with it, they speak English. But if you come across this education with illiteracy, people who are like Spanish, 5.2% they speak Spanish. The third language is English. The fourth language, we all Indians should be proud, that is Hindi. 4.46% people speak Hindi. So these are the things. See, now speaking the global language, many of the foreigners, they are speaking Hindi. Many of us, we have learned Spanish, we have learned Germany, we have learned French. Why? Globalization. Now, global skills on demand. So many of us, we travel, we migrate from India to USA. Why? Because there is a global skill that is in demand. You'll be paid more in USA if you compare with it, India. So learning without borders. So we learn it, right? We Indians are the best in learning any languages, and when we learn the language, we speak better than those native language people. So that is one thing. So same page, different countries are there. Leaders who lead anywhere, finding top talent worldwide. That's the reason. These are the impacts of HRD. So we are always in competitive edge. Like celebrating difference at work. Now we celebrate different things at work. Say you have a festival, so we celebrate it so people get to know each other totally. Staying ahead of global curve, remote work revolution, global career paths, performance management goes global, data makes HRD decisions smarter, following the rules everywhere, ethics matter globally. So all of these are the impact of globalization of HRD, and this will come for how many marks? 15 marks. So what is that you are supposed to do? Write a flow chart. Now when you write a flow chart, very simple it is. You just go with this: impact of globalization on HRD. Now you divide it, you make boxes like this. So this becomes a flow chart for you. Write the first one, second, third, fourth, like that you continue. Then you tell, say I have given you here, say example, now here we have how many? I'll just go to the previous one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 15 points I have given for you. Write all 15 points. Start explaining all the 15 points in your own words, right? You know what exactly to say. Example, I'll tell you. Following the rules everywhere. Say law of land is something which you are supposed to know. Now in this law of land, what happens? You are supposed to follow the law carefully. Say a person, example I'm just giving it to you. A person from USA or England, he comes to India. So what is the law of land of India? He or she should attire for it. They should be adaptable to it. When you go back to say, when you are there, you are an Indian, you go to USA, what happens in USA? Again, the law of land, you are supposed to go with it. See, these are what the impact that will definitely help the HRD to grow. So this is a 15 marks question. You can actually get it easily. Next is diversity of workforce. Again, there is a word called what? Diversity. So diversity happens everywhere. So diversity of workforce refers to the inclusion of individuals from wide range of background within an organization. So diversity of workforce encompasses demographic, cultural, cognitive and experiential dimensions. So this is a 2 marks question. What is diversity of workforce? So in this diversity of workforce, what all will come? One is the demographic, right? The regions, what exactly we go with it. Next is cultural diversity. There are so many people, right? So many people and with so many cultural backgrounds they have, that is there. Educational and professional backgrounds. See, there are people who are working in MNC company. Their childhood is not the same, right? If I give an example, the CEO of some MNC company, now initially when he started, he worked as an employee, okay? Then he came as a manager, then from manager, board of director, from board of director, he became a CEO. So everybody, they go with the same thing, but try to understand. He finishes 10th in a government school. He finishes college in a government college. He finishes masters in a private institute. He got a doctorate from a foreign university. See, the diversity is too much, right? Now, if you compare, will all CEOs follow the same structure? No. So the thing is here, what? The educational and professional background will be what? Totally diversified. Next is cognitive diversity, experimental diversity, and generational diversity. See, this generational diversity is very much. Now, anybody who's born before 2000, they call them as the millennials. And anybody after 2000, they are the Gen Zs, right? The diversity is so much that you cannot even imagine how these Gen Zs are, right? It is very difficult for people who are the millennials to equip themselves with these Gen Zs. Next is workforce reduction. See, workforce reduction will also come for 2 marks. Okay, so any question for 2 marks, you can actually expect this. Workforce reduction refers to deliberate reduction in the number of employees with an organization. This can occur for various reasons such as economic downturn. Reduction in the sense what? Now workforce, people, reduction, you are cutting them. So that is because of economic downturn, restructuring the entire organization, mergers or acquisitions, technology advancement or shifts in the business priority. These workforce reduction can happen. So in workforce reduction, what are the methods that can come for a 10 marks question? First is layoff. You will actually take them out. Voluntary separation program, natural attrition, legal and ethical consideration of that, communication and employee support, impact on organizational culture. So that's what will happen. Long-term planning. You will retain so many employees because you have the long-term planning, and you will actually tell the other people that there is a layoff and you are not supposed to come to the company once again. Rebuilding and recovery. So example, I'll just tell you. Twitter before Elon Musk and Twitter after Elon Musk. Now there was a thing which happened after the pandemic. That is, people started to go with this retention as well as they started to go with the workforce methodology in a different way. What was it? Elon Musk put a message to more than 1,000 of the employees of Twitter saying that from tomorrow you're not supposed to come to the office. And he sent it 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. So anybody who saw that, they were in a shock. Reason, now you need to tell me in the comment box which one method Elon Musk had taken and gave a message to all his employees whom he did not want it, right? Then what really happened? You should just comment. Next is realignment. See, Twitter got realigned. Now it is called X, right? So realignment in an organization context refers to the process of restructuring or adjusting various aspects of the business. And for why? Because to better align with strategic goal, market condition or changing priorities. It typically involved recognizing resources, process, roles, and sometimes entire departments or functions. So this can also be a what? A 2 marks question, and you are supposed to go with that. Next is reasons for realignment. Why there is a realignment? One is because it is a strategic focus. They want to change the image, or they want to change the entire pattern of work. They want to change so that they can give a competition to their competitors. Operational efficiency will increase. Adaptation to change, because see, the pandemic happened. How people change their entire format is only because change is the only constant which we have. So these are the reasons for realignment. Next is retention. How to retain your employees. So again, a 2 marks question. Retention in the context of human resource management refers to efforts and strategies employed by organization to retain their talented employee. What employee? Talented employee, and reduce turnover. It focuses on creating an environment where employees are motivated to stay with the organization for an extended period. They always retain the talented employees. So understand the word. If anybody is working in any organization for a longer time, there are 3 things. Organization is okay with that, or the employee is okay with the organization. The second thing I told you, the employee or the organization, vice versa, right? The third thing is that retaining. They know that the companies are not for short term, they are for what? Long tenure. So they want the talented one to stay with them for a longer period. That is why it is called, very important topic called retention. Now what are the importance of retention? Now in the retention, we have first thing is cost effectiveness, preservation of knowledge and expertise. So You preserve knowledge. You give preference to knowledge. Maintaining productivity. Positive workforce culture. See, positive work culture in the sense, there is a person for 10 years or say for 20 plus or 30. The maximum is what the 30 years. There are so many people who have worked in our organization for even more than 30 years because 60 years is what the retirement is. And many of them have also worked more than 40 years. Even after retirement also, the organization want them to stay, right? That is what the best part. Now, customer satisfaction and loyalty, because the customer gonna see the same employee, so they'll have what? The satisfaction as well as the loyalty towards those organization. It reduces training time and improved skill development. So what happens is you retain your talented employee. You don't need to train anybody else to replace that person, because again, training also is what? Very expensive. Next is innovation and continual improvement. So you'll always have better ideas, they'll be innovative, and the improvement is always there. So these are the importance of retention. Next, if you go with this, the retention itself, please understand, HRD program for diverse employees, how retention will help in the sense, diversity training and workshop will happen, so they will retain. Mentorship and coaching programs will happen. Cultural competence training will happen. Employee resource group will be created. Leadership development program will be taken. So all these will definitely make sure the employees are retained and the retention process continues. Next one we have is HRD programs for diverse employee. The continuity is flexible work arrangements. Now, for those people who are really talented, there will be a flexible work arrangement, cross-culture team building, language and communication skill development, career development workshops, wellness and inclusive incentives will be given. So regarding this session, you have any doubts, you can call us, and it's so easy for you people to watch the videos given by Vidhyaashram, and thank you so much. I'll see you when I see you. Thank you.